Hey everyone, Ryan Bolton here, local mortgage expert, ryanbolton.com. Today in my How Do series, we're going to talk about how do appraisals work. We're going to break down a report, show you how all the numbers and what the appraiser puts into these reports, and kind of show you how this whole thing works. All right, let's get right into how an appraisal works. So I pulled up an old appraisal of one of my properties just to be able to go through it in depth. And so the forms differ a little bit between the appraisers and which forms and which software they use. But I've done this for about 20 something years and they're almost pretty similar. So they must use all kind of a similar software program. So let's take a look at this. This is usually a cover sheet. They'll usually have a photo and then they start breaking down certain sections. The first section is going to be the subject. This is going to have legal description. This is going to have address, owners, names of stuff, if there's an HOA. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in the subject section. The next one is the contract. If it's a purchase, they'll fill out this information here if it's a purchase. They'll start talking about the neighborhood. There's always these defaults of whether they're rural or suburban or up utilities or whether they're on septic or all this type of stuff is usually in this section about the neighborhood. And then they'll talk about the project site. They'll talk about if it's downslope, how big the land is, how buildable it is. So you can see all these little boxes that they check on this report. Next right here is just general description of the property, the subject phase, if there is one, if it's complete. So it just goes through all this section. Then you've got this is a condominium in this case. So it does have a couple other things that are talked about the project itself, like how many units are in the whole project, if there's been any changes to the HOA, all those fun things. Next right here is the unit description itself. So this specific unit, whether it's a ground level, whether it's a upper level, whether it's attached, what's included, fireplaces, refrigerator, oven, dishwasher, car storage in this case, if there's a garage, carport, or if it's just open. And keep going down here. Prior sale history. So it just shows if there's been any other sales, when they sold. So here's really where you get into the meat of the appraisal. This is going to be where you're going to have 3 comparable sales. So you're going to have sale number 1, number 2, number 3. And the appraiser is trying to find comps that are the most similar to this particular unit. They're going to try to find them as close as possible as far as distance physically and as how soon they've sold to the date of this appraisal, to try to bracket that as close as possible. Now with condominium projects, they're a little bit more cookie cutter. Usually don't have big swings in quality of construction or size differences. Sure, you might have an end unit that's bigger or a top unit that's worth a little bit more. But generally speaking, in condominium projects, they're very similar. There's just 50 units and maybe 40 of them are almost identical. So when you come down here, you can start seeing some of the adjustments that they can make. So they have all these little sections right here that they can customize to be able to make adjustments for this particular unit. The big one might be like a fireplace or a garage, or square footage is obviously the biggest difference. So or even age. You can see in this case, it's 46 years old versus 40, 46, 43. So they'll go across all these things and kind of plus and minus off of this value. So this is what the home actually sold for. This is the number. This is what dollar per square foot, all that stuff here. But then they say, okay, there's some small adjustments. This one's a little bit newer. It's about the same size. This one's a little bit smaller. So they make adjustments to it based on what this home actually sold for. So then you scroll down here and there's net adjustments, what the final price is considering the differences between, say, comp 1 and the actual subject property, or comp 2, comp 3. So they come down here and kind of bracket these 3 numbers. That helps determine the value. Now, a lot of times appraisers will also send in the values reported right here. Then the value will usually be based on a couple more comps. So usually I've seen as many as 12. I would say more common, somewhere around that 6 comps. Usually 3 is the ones that are weighted the heaviest, and then comps 4 and 5 just kind of support the value. So maybe it's something where you've got a property that has a lot of square footage, or has a pool and the other ones don't, or has a lot of acreage and the other one doesn't. So that there's boxes for everything on these appraisal reports. So it is something where they'll find a way to adjust the subject property to what's actually sold in the marketplace. All right. And then these are all bracketed and all that fun stuff. Then they'll make comments about what the subject is and where it's been. And, there's just all kinds of pages. I mean, this thing is how many pages long? It's 36 pages worth of stuff. So let's scroll down through a few more things here. Comments. You're always going to see little comments about the purpose, the market, all kinds of stuff. I mean, these are huge reports. The sketch, they'll usually do some sort of floor plan layout of what you're dealing with as far as the square footage. the measurement and that kind of thing. They'll always pull a plot map. So they'll kind of show, okay, here's where the subject is in relation to the rest of the subdivision, the rest of the condominium project. They'll also show a map that you can see here. Will show where are the other comps in relation to this particular home. So, I mean, if you start seeing a comp that's, say on this side of town, and then all of a sudden the other comp's clear over here, jumps over rail lines and freeway systems and rivers and mountain ranges and stuff like that, there usually has to be some sort of comment about why you went that far, why you skipped all the other homes. If you got this comp right here and you got one right here, why would it be skipped? Why is this a better comp than this one? So that's the little map. And then they always take photos. So here's all the photos of the front, the back, the road. Look at that. Oh, look at the view. Look at that place. It's awesome. And they'll take some photos of the interior. They'll always do that. And then you'll sometimes see little notes. You'll maybe see a little area here if there's flood damage or if there's some sort of damage to the roof or something like that. And water heaters, all kinds of photos. And then here's the other comp. So this is kind of photos of what the other ones that look like it. And yeah, so there you go. This is snow. For all you people in St. George, this is what they call snow. It's frozen rain. And we don't get a lot of snow here. All right, let's see. Other assumptions made, all that kind of stuff. Let's see if there's anything else worth going in here. Conditions to the report, how the market's doing, up or down, its sign, property detail. I mean, look at this thing. 36 pages of stuff. Oh, look at this photo. There's a cool one. Little aerial photo. His license, all kinds of insurance stuff. So there you go. So that's an appraisal. Piece of cake, huh? All right, let's go back up here. So really, the meat and the potatoes, right here. This, all 36 pages really boils down to this. Here's your subject property, right here. Here's what the homes that have sold that are the closest, most similar comparables. Here's the adjustments for age, square footage, quality construction, amenities, view, decks, patios, all the stuff that are included in houses. It gets bracketed, and then bam, that's what the appraisal is. So I hope you found that helpful. If you need any help looking at an appraisal or need help finding an appraiser, I can give you a great referral here in the Southern Utah area. We can get you a comp search to just get an idea what your home might be worth. You can also go to my website. We have a great little tool to help you evaluate what your home might be worth if you're looking to refinance or sell the property. So check out ryanbolton.com. There's a great little link on being able to determine what your home might be worth. But I'd love the chance to work with you if you're looking to purchase or refinance a home in the state of Utah or Nevada. Hope you have a wonderful day.